welcome back to my channel. My name is Remy. Thanks for tuning in on my channel. I discuss on faith, lifestyle, and development. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So for this video, I'm going to be discussing back to school tips, and it's gonna be sort of like a chit-chat video while I give some tips for back to school, because I know this is end of August. Kids are going back to school, college students are going back to school, so I figured, let's just have a chit chat. Let me put something on my channel that college students, high school students, grade school students can, listen to and gain a thing or two from. So I'd written down certain things that I just wanted to talk about, certain points that I want to talk about. And I remember for me personally, I loved back to school. So when I used to go to school, I'm not in school anymore. But when I used to go to school, college, law school, I loved going back to school. So after the summer break, summer is a time to, unwind and, relax, have fun so you can be ready for school the next year. For me, I, for the most part, took summer classes, so I wasn't really resting, but it's still, less workload during the summer than the school year. And every time, it was time for back to school, I was really excited. I loved the whole idea of back to school, the fact that fall starts and you can, shop for new books, new clothes, new shoes, new classes. I just loved it. And the fact that it's kind of like a fresh start, because it's the start of the school year and it's a fresh start, it's a new beginning. If you're the one who wants to improve your GPA, you have another opportunity to do that this semester, this year, the school year. If you want a fresh start and just, start over again and just do great things. I love back to school. So I figured, let me share some tips. And also, like I said, if you wanted to improve your GPA or even get better grades and you want to start afresh, you want to turn a new leaf, I think, it's a great time to get the ground running. It's a great time to just get into the grind of back to school. So some of the things that I wrote down is prep your mind, right? So you just finished in summer, right? And from summer you're not doing schoolwork for the most part. Partying, traveling, having fun, working extra to get more money. And so when the school year starts, you're kind of like winning off yourself off summer, right? Winning off summer. And it's like, okay, how do I get away from summer mode into real back to school mode, right? So you've had the time to relax and enjoy your break. Now how do you get back into back to school mode? And some tips I have for that is just start organizing, right? Start organizing what you're going to be doing for the fall. Declutter your summer clothes, start prepping for fall. Clean up, organize your apartment, organize your house. And if you're moving to school, start thinking of things that you will need for school and things like that. So pretty much having the mindset that, okay, summer is ending, I'm going back to school, I need to be in school mode. What will I need for school? What do I need to succeed this school year? What are the things that I need to help me to make my life better as a student? And it goes to the next thing that I wrote down about back to school shopping. So you're shopping for back to school things. So you're shopping for clothes, you're shopping for shoes, you're shopping for books, textbooks, notebooks, you're shopping for school supplies pretty much. So, pens, pencils, and things like that. So everything you would need for school, you're starting to buy those things if you haven't bought them yet. And pretty much writing down a list of what you need. Think about last semester. What did you use last semester? Do you want to replace some of those things? Did you use some things from last semester that you don't think you used this semester? Do you think you had something or you didn't have something last semester that you think is going to be helpful this year? So think of your to-do list and make sure that you're actually buying things that you need versus just wants. So like books, new or used books. I remember in college, even in law school, you could get used books for cheaper. Now there are, cons of using used books because, it might be already highlighted and you don't want that. You want a fresh book, so you can make your own highlight or underline your own items that you want to underline. So, but it's cheaper to get a used book versus a new book. But if you want to buy a new book, that's perfectly fine as well. So, you know, school supplies, what you need, highlighters. Law students, we use a lot. We used to use a lot of highlighters. I'm sure they do, but I'm sure they still do. But, you know, highlighters, if you're trying to replace, you know, certain things that you need, new clothes, new fall jackets, new shoes, and things like that. So just, you know, back to school shopping, knowing what you need. Do you need a new backpack for the school year? If you know, if your backpack was, you know, torn from last semester, you probably want to get a new one. Do you need a lunch bag and things like that? So, you know, just getting yourself in back to school mode and just figuring out what you're going to need the next school year that's coming up. Another thing I wrote down was set up a routine that works, right? So I think around this time you start to get emails from professors saying, hey, I'm going to be your professor for so and so class for this, you know, semester coming up. This is my syllabus. You know, these are the books you're going to need, and you know, this is the time that you're going to need to use to study for my class and things like that. So just knowing and having a routine that works. Figure out your class schedules, your study schedules, break times, extracurricular activities. So what are you going to be doing outside of just taking classes? You know your class load and plan ahead. Are you taking 4 classes? Are you taking 6 classes? Are you taking 7 classes? You know, so just knowing what your load is, your class load is, and how you can plan ahead with other things that you want to do, like, you know, extracurricular activities, you know, going to the gym, you know, studying. So not just going to class as well, but actually studying outside of class and things like that. So, you know, come up with a routine that works for you. You know, first things first, you want to attend class regularly. If you're the type that, you know, last school year you were missing in action when it comes to class attendance, you probably want to do better this year. And, you know, attend class, go to class, listen, pay attention. If you like sit in front of the class, if you like sit at the back of the class, but make sure that you're paying attention. That's the key. And, you know, arrive to class on time as well, because it's one thing to arrive, you know, to class 10 minutes after class started. You don't know if the professor already mentioned some key information, you know, at the beginning of class before you walked in. So attend class regularly and attend class on time, and figure out a routine that works for you. So for example, if you have class from, let's say, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? You're going to take a break at 12 for like lunch or whatever, and then you can study in the afternoon a little bit. And then if you have class at like 4 or something, you can go back to class. So figuring out what your class schedule is and how you can build your study time around your class schedule is really important. And how, you know, also how to have breaks, when to have breaks, and obviously when to, you know, put in time for the gym and other things that you can be in, that you're interested in doing. So figuring out the routine that works is very key. Another thing I wrote down was study habits. Figure out a study habit that works for you, because not everyone studies the same way. I personally, when I was in school, I like to study alone. I know a lot of people, actually, maybe not a lot of people, but I know, you know, people like to study in groups. But I think if you like to study alone, study alone. If you like to study in groups, sometimes you can do that to help, to benefit you. So you can, you know, bounce off ideas of people, learn from people. But if you think it works better for you to study alone, by all means do that. Also, where you study matters, right? If you live in an apartment and I like to study in your apartment, study in your apartment. You don't have to study in the library. So I noticed for me, in college, I didn't like to study in the library. I never studied in the library. I tried it a couple times. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. So I'd go home and study. But in law school, I actually studied in the library more than I studied at home. I can't even remember. I think there was a time I studied in the library more, and then there was a time I studied at home more. But whatever works for you, feel free to switch it up, you know, if it's not working for you anymore. But where you study is very important, so that you're not distracted and you're comfortable and you're able to absorb information better, and, you know, you can be very focused on what you're studying. Also supplements. So if you are in school and you're struggling with a particular subject or a particular course, you know, get some help. You know, get supplements, get extra help to help you in your studies. Maybe not in the beginning, because it's too early to know what you're even struggling with. But if, you know, along the line during the semester, you realize that, okay, this class is giving me a little bit of issue. I've talked to the professor, I'm, you know, putting in extra time to study, and I'm still quite not getting it the way I want to get it, or I'm still not fully, you know, comfortable with the subject. Get supplements, get help, you know, to help you in your studies for that particular subject. You know, homeworks, you know, are a great way to study. So it's easy to just put off homework, but don't put off your homework. Don't procrastinate. Do your homework on time. It helps you to even understand the material better, so that at the end of the semester, you're not like trying to like cramp, you know, everything all at once. All the information that you should have learned over the semester, you're trying to cramp it all at once at the end of the semester. So when you're doing your homework, just know that it's a way for you to actually study and understand the material well in advance before your finals. And this video, it's, you know, it's relatable to people that are in college, in grade school, in grad school. You know, if you're doing your doctorate program, this is for you. If you're doing your master's, these tips can apply to you as well. So it's not just for a certain group of people. So yeah, complete your homework in advance. Don't procrastinate. And, you know, just do what you need to do in terms of, you know, studies, right? So if you have a strict plan to study, feel free to switch it up and adjust accordingly. So if you're struggling with a particular subject, you probably want to spend more time on that subject, versus if you're very sure or you're very comfortable with another subject, you might want to spend less time with that subject until you're comfortable with the difficult one. So, you know, feel free to switch things up as long as you're understanding material, you know, you're doing your homework, you're studying, you're paying attention in class, you're asking questions in class, you know, you're finding time to go to the professor's office hours to ask questions and, you know, get clarity on certain things that you're not on certain things that you're not clear on in class. So, you know, just making sure that you're aware and you're putting in your mind to do what you need to do to study well. So study habits, study routine, very important. Another thing I wrote down was, you know, plan ahead, plan every detail ahead, right? So for the first week of school, what is your meal plan for that week? What are you going to be wearing to school that week? Do you have your bus pass ready? Do you have your train pass ready? If you drive to school, you have enough gas, the registration for your car is set, you've done your oil change, everything. Just make sure that your transportation is set, your meal plan is set, everything is set. You know, plan your weeks in advance, plan your week in advance. It's very important, so that way it's not like, oh, it's Sunday, school starts on Monday, you got nothing planned. You don't know how you're going to get to school, you don't know what you're going to eat for lunch, you know, nothing. But, you know, you want to make sure that you plan ahead, plan the week ahead at least. I think it's very helpful. And also have a weekly routine, right? So how many days during the week do you go to the gym? You know, what days do you do your homeworks? And when I say that, I mean, so for example, if, you know, you're busy today because you have many classes today, you probably can't do all your homeworks that same day. You know, you probably want to do your homework the next day, but figure out what works for you, you know, as far as routine goes weekly, right? So if you go to the gym, let's say 5 days a week, and you're really busy, you can't necessarily go to the gym for the whole 1 hour that you go to the gym. Maybe you can cut gym down to 30 minutes or 20 minutes so you can accommodate more time for homework. So just knowing what your weekly routine would be, look at your calendar, you know, at the beginning of the week, like, okay, this is my class time, this is how much homework I have, this is, you know, what's required of me as far as extracurricular activities, you know, is concerned. Now, what do I do? How do I figure out that my schedule works for me? So, you know, have a weekly routine, have a morning routine as well. You know, how much time does it take you to get ready in the morning to go to school? If it's 1 hour, plan your sleep time, plan the time you're going to wake up, so that, you know, you plan when you're actually going to leave the house to go to school so you're not late for classes. Arrive at least 10 minutes before class. You know, be outside of the class. So even if there's a class going on already, be sitting down outside waiting for class to start at least 10 minutes before, because you don't want to rush into class. And if you're in college, for example, seats are not assigned, I don't believe. You know, you just go into class and sit down where you want to sit. But I know that over the course of the semester, people typically just sit where they've sat since the beginning of class. But at least, you know, arrive early to class, don't be rushing to class. And if you're driving to school, you have enough time to find parking and things like that, so you're not rushed. So yeah, figure out your morning routine. How much time does it take you to get ready? If you wear makeup to school, how much time does that take you? You know, fix your hair, how much time does that take you? What you're gonna wear and things like that. Just plan, you know, so just like plan your morning routine, and you know how much sleep you're gonna get and things like that. And sleep is important. You know, I think if you sleep well, if you get enough rest during the night, you can have a more productive day the next day versus if you go to bed super late and you have to wake up super early in the morning and you're not productive during the day because you're tired and things like that. But you know, so plan your rest and your sleep well, very well as well. And cut out distractions. This school year, friends that don't have the same goals as you have, you know, friends that are going to be distracting you to do other things when you're supposed to be studying, you don't need that in your life. Focus on your, you know, academics, focus on school, have friends, you know, friends that you have the same goals as, you know, friends that motivate you to do better. You know, you can have fun as well, but it's just not all about fun in college, right? I know in this country, I think it's a lot of college students, like, you know, for the most part, like to talk about fun all the time, but that's not a realistic thing. And if you want to be successful, you want to do well in school, you need to plan how you're going to study as well. So you need friends who will help you to do that. You know, cut out distracting friends, you know, people that are not aligned with you succeeding in school. Just cut that out. It's just no time for it. Focus on what you need to focus on your academics, and you know, stay inspired. So one way to stay inspired is if you like a certain quote that inspires you, remember that quote as you're going into the school year. Okay, I'm going to make it. You know, if you struggled with math the previous year, what plan do you have? What goal do you have to be able to tackle that math problem this school year? If you struggle with science, what are you doing differently this year, you know, to help you to succeed and to help you to do better in that course versus what you did last year? So, you know, just have a goal, write down your goals for the school year, stay inspired, stay inspired, you know, stay encouraged, and you're going to do great. And, you know, the last thing is just, you know, work hard. You know, this school year, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. Don't plan to wing it. If you're the type that you're already planning how you're just going to scale through and, you know, wing it and hopefully turn out all right, no. Have a different mindset. Work hard. Put in the work. You'll be glad you did. Put in the work. Go to class. Study. Face your studies properly. You know, ask for help if you're struggling with something. Put in the work. You know, put in the work. Prep well for tests and quizzes. You know, I wrote down, you know, prep well for tests and quizzes, you know, pop quizzes. That's why it's good to pay attention in class, because if you're not paying attention in class and you're not asking questions, who knows? The professor, you know, you might get into class one day and the professor is going to be like, yeah, there's a pop quiz. Everyone bring out your pencil or whatever, and there's a test. What are you going to do? So, you know, prep well, pay attention in class for, you know, for tests and quizzes, pop quizzes. Seek tutoring if you need help with a class. Don't be ashamed to ask for help, you know. Yeah, don't be ashamed to ask for help, because a lot of times I feel like we don't want to admit that we don't know something, and I don't know why. It's okay to ask a question. If you're not clear on something, raise up your hand in class. Ask the question, clarify, so that way you're not struggling after class because you were so shy, you know, to ask questions in class. But ask questions, ask for help, you know, when you need help. And, you know, just remember that you can do it. You can do it. And to those graduating in the year 2020, you know, the finish line is literally like looking at you, right? Literally like staring at you. So just, you know, put in the work, apply yourself, remember that you can do it. And I wish you all the best. You know, it doesn't matter what school you're going to, grade school, college, grad school, but just, you can do it, and you will do amazing this coming school year. I wish you all the best, and I wish you once again all the best of luck. And that's it. That's all I wanted to share for this video. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye guys.